frankly, I think the regulators did a good job in responding very quickly, because normally you have longer to respond to this. So they acted with quite a lot of speed, given how quickly this happened.
So some people say you have a moral hazard when you protect people. So by protecting all the depositors in Silicon Valley Bank, the implication was that if somebody else has a problem, we'll protect them and so forth. And so the $250,000 limit is meaningless, more or less. Or do you think the Federal Reserve and the Secretary of Treasury are saying we're not going to protect every depositor, or we're going to protect certain depositors?
I don't think they need to go out right now, because the banking system is pretty sound, and we're talking about a few banks. We heard it from the Chairman Powell today. This is not something that is spread across the entire banking system. This isn't like it was last time. This is not a credit crisis. This is a situation where it's a few banks that have some problems, and it's better to make sure that we nip that in the bud.
Okay, so what about the problem that over the weekend, when this was being debated within the administration, people didn't know if they were going to protect depositors, shareholders, creditors. They decided to protect depositors, but they obviously were trying to get some bank to buy Silicon Valley Bank. Why do you think nobody emerged willing to buy it?
Normally it takes you a few days to get your arms around these. Historically, if there was a bank that had problems, you had at least a week where people were looking at it. Because of what you said before in terms of the digital side, this happened very quickly. So we'll wait and see if if we do see a buyer in the next few days emerge. We hope so.
Not to pick on the West Coast, but there's another West Coast bank, First Republic Bank, which is around the country, but based in San Francisco. And they've had some problems. They've had gigantic decline in their market value and so forth. Do you expect that somebody will bail them out or buy them? Well,
I'm not going to comment in depth on First Republic, because they are actively working through the challenges that they're facing right now. What you saw last week was a number of the large banks, 11 of us, got together to put a large capital or deposit injection into them to help buy the time to make sure that they could come up with the right solution for the restructuring that's needed.
So the large banks and others put in roughly $30 billion of deposits. I think you put in roughly $5 billion or something like that. So how did that happen? Did Jamie Dimon call you up and say, hey, you have $5 billion you don't really need, and you can put it in First Republic? And is that you have to go to your board to say, I need to get $5 billion somewhere? I mean, how do you make that decision? And was it, you just say to Jamie, I'll call you back, I'll think about it? Or how does that work? So
one of the great things about this was actually that the banks did all come back together, because you think of it, we're all we usually try and kill each other in different deals that we're trying to do. I mean, it's you don't want to have someone else win a pitch over yourselves. So there's a lot of competition between us. But in this instance, this is one where we're in a strong position. We want to stop what could have been a problem. And we all know when there is a confidence crisis, the logic that takes over isn't it necessarily rational. So we wanted to go and help protect the system. It's in the interest to do so. So despite this being quite a divisive environment that we're all operating in, this is an instance of the banks coming together and saying, okay, what can we do here to support a system that we have confidence in? And you don't put $5 billion into the system through the generosity of your own heart. You do it because you have confidence in the system itself.
You expect to get that money back eventually?
Yes.
Would Citi consider buying First Republic, or you're not interested?
No.
No, you're not buying. Okay.